Hey guys, how you doing? This is Manga, etc. And I'm here today to bring the review for One Piece episode 887. So, as you know, if you've already watched the episode, that a lot of this episode was recap. And now, I can't really want to say this, up until now, they've been keeping the recap fairly manageable. I'm going to say manageable, I was going to say enjoyable, but manageable to the point where you're thinking, okay, I'm a manga reader as well, but I also watch the anime, so I notice these things and I can understand where they're coming from. But this episode, there was so much recap into it to a point where I was getting bored, and that's something that doesn't really happen. I do get annoyed that there's so much recap, but within this episode, I was getting annoyed to the point where I was actually also bored of watching the episode. I just was like, hurry up, man, let this episode finish so I can come do the review and then get on with the rest of my day. That rarely happens. But let's talk about what we actually do get within this episode. So, Big Mom calls up my boy Kaido and they have a talk. And basically, what's going on here is that Big Mom saying, like, yo, Luffy's coming to Wano, but you need to leave him alone. And they're just basically going back and forth saying, no, I'm not doing that. I have a bigger reason to want to go after him than you do, blah, 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 blah. And we find out that between them, there was something between them in the past. When this is something that Big Mom brings up. And she's like, it's for those, like, you owe me, it's for those reasons you owe me a favor. Kaido's like, nah, that was a long time ago, nah, that don't even matter right now. Big Mom's like, nah, but you get me? It's a lifetime agreement between us. And now this scene in the anime ends off with them saying, "Let's be friends." So I don't know if they're gonna go back to it, and then they do what the manga did. Because in the manga, granted, translation may be a bit wrong. They basically say like, "Yo, if it comes to it, we will fight." And then Big Mom's like, "I'm coming to Wano," and then Kaido's like, "If you come to Wano, we are fighting." Minor spoiler, but you can get the vibe between them. You can see that that's where they're heading. If there's a minor spoiler, so if I've spoiled anyone, but minor, you could. It's kind of hinted at within the episode anyway. So forgive me. So as the episode is going on, we flip over to Marine side of things, what the Marines are doing right now. So they know about Big Mom and Kaido's little convo, and they have talks about. Garp mentions that how anyone, because Akainu says, you know what, this one is out of our jurisdiction, we're not going to do nothing. And God mentions that how anyone who could have stopped something between them is presently at the reverie. And now, I can't remember who it was, but someone mentions that at present, the only people that they can send that can stop them, Big Mom and Kaido, is the admirals or the seven warlords. Now, we know Greenboard and Fujitora is at the reverie, so they can't be referring to them. So that just leaves Kizaru. And now I agree with Kizaru being able to go over there and stop things between them. But when it comes to the seven warlords, I'm a bit like, uh-uh. Now, Buggy, no. Unless he's got a serious power up. From the last time we see him, he ain't doing nothing. We ain't seen the full extent of Whitebeard's legitimate son, if he is legitimate. We ain't seen the extent of what he could do, so maybe, I don't know. But when it comes to, when you say a warlord can take on the Yonko, the only one that I can see possible of doing this is Mihawk, and we don't even know the full extent to him. Because Boa Hancock, no. And who else is left in the who else is left in the warlords right now? Because Doflamingo locked up. They ain't letting him out. We know that he was afraid of Kaido. Law gave up his warlordship, and we know he ain't ready for Kaido. So when they said warlords, I was thinking, what are you thinking? We also, in the Marines, they have a conversation about rocks, and now this goes back to the whole favor between Kaido and Big Mom. And I wasn't really thinking this in the manga. I've only started really thinking this now, but I'm really interested to know what exactly happened between them and this favor. In addition to that, we know that it links into why Garp started to be known as Garp the hero. So that's everything needed, because then we go into a whole load of recap and flashback. So the episode ends off, and I think it's simply because I was bored of the episode, I can't wait for it to wrap up, or it's probably because I saw it in the manga already. But at the end of the episode, we have none other than Shanks walk in to the River into the Holy Land, and casually, I'm gonna play the clip from what happened in the manga so you can get my full excitement. Sit down and talk to what they're about to talk to. Who is about to talk to? The 5 elders. Play a clip now where we have the 5 elders, the ones that are above the celestial dragon. They're having a meeting with Shanks, Shanks wants there to talk about a certain pirate. Now, that is amazing, because it really says a lot about Shanks' status as a pirate. Deep it. Like, we don't know, regardless if he's by himself or not, deep it. He's able to come up to the Holy Land and request a meeting with possibly the highest tier of people in the One Piece world. And there was like no qualms about it, no like security on him, and people telling him to drop the weapons. It kind of seemed like he just rolled through on the casual thing, like he could do this. Like, yeah, I want to talk to the elders. Yeah, just let me through. Yeah. And security would be like, yeah, come through, Shanks. Yeah, it's cool. Upstairs to your left, you know the way, innit? So I was like, whoa, to see him. And now the certain pirate, obviously Luffy. Like, that's the first thing you could think. But is it possible it could be about someone else? I don't know. I can't think of anyone else it could be about. But yeah, I think. But this has made me think that Shanks, he knows more than we think he knows about what's going on in the One Piece world. Haven't had time to think about it. I do think that this certain pirate that Shanks was to talk about is Blackbeard. And now, when I start to think about the reason why I want to talk about Blackbeard, it just seems like everything would tie into Luffy as well, because we know that at some point in the story that these two pirate crews are gonna clash. But the whole reason why I think so, I started to think that maybe he might be talking about both of them in a sense, but more other than the other, more one than the other. But and that could still be the case. But the reason why I think it's more say one of them and not both of them is simply because he said when he came in that I need to talk about a certain pirate, and now a certain pirate. And if I had to pick one over the other, I think Shanks would be talking about Blackbeard simply because of his history with him, and he might see, because like I said, I think Shanks knows more than what he leads to lead on about the One Piece world. So I think that he knows that Blackbeard is going to be a problem. He knows that Blackbeard is going to be needs to get, like, say, rid of or just dealt with. So that could be the reason why he's gone to the 5 elders. And I feel like he would feel this way about Blackbeard and not Luffy, simply because we know that he trusts in Luffy. He sees big things for Luffy, and he wouldn't snitch on Luffy. So yeah, so previously, like you saw in the clip, I thought the best thing to think would be that it would be Luffy, but now I'm starting to think that he's gone there to talk about Blackbeard. So that's everything I've got to say about this episode, simply because of the recap that we have gotten within this episode. It is only getting a 2-star rating. Of course, guys, I'm asking for your thoughts and opinions. If you haven't already, please go to my YouTube channel, but most importantly, take care. Have a nice day.